Hi! I recommend everybody gets a theme tune. When that theme tune is going on and I'm waiting to go live, like totally dancing about in the background, just brings me good energy, makes me feel upbeat, and brings the energy across to you, I hope, in the other side of the internet. Today on the Happy Hustle Show, I want to talk about your ideal customer and how they have possibly / probably evolved. So if you're brand new to side hustling, then just take this from scratch. But if you've been doing this for a while, I want to challenge you as to whether your ideal customer now is the same ideal customer that you thought about right at the beginning. Let's just rewind. What is an ideal customer? When you are selling a product or a service online or in person, you need to know who you're selling to. If you don't know who you're selling to, it makes the whole marketing aspect very, very difficult, because when you're selling to everybody, you're selling to nobody. When you set up your side hustle, hopefully you decided who you wanted to sell to. I am a massive advocate for choosing your ideal customer as opposed to finding your ideal customer. When I first started, this is one of the biggest lessons that I learned. When I first started side hustling, I was like, I have made this product. I need to go and find the people that will want to buy it. I spent probably years doing that. And I want you to take the shortcut and just decide that you are going to choose who you're going to sell it to as opposed to finding them. So when you're choosing who you want to sell your product to, you want to choose somebody dead nice. You want to choose somebody that's grateful. But most importantly, you want to choose somebody who can be found online. So again, marketing hack. If you choose someone, so let me tell you this kind of slight challenge that I've had with Happy Side Hustle, certainly when I started at the beginning, and how this is kind of evolving. So I started by saying, well, Happy Side Hustle is really for unfulfilled career women, because our side hustles are nearly always selling to the 5 year or 5 year or 10 year ago version of us. That is pretty much what we're all selling to. Not everybody, but yeah, the majority, I would say. So that was me. Like, that was me. So I was a unfulfilled career woman who really enjoyed her job and still does, but I was looking for that thing more. I was at that point in life where I'm like, not sure making a difference. I just want something that's gonna, like, bring a bit of me to the world. At the time, like, now I've got a lot more. Well, I've got a lot. Technically, I've got a lot more time in my life because my kids are older and aren't as dependent on me. But when I set up my side hustles, I mean, my kids were like 1 and 2, so I get it. When you've got a family and stuff, I get it, and I get the pressures on your time. So in terms of a time, oh, hi Claire. In terms of a kind of a time hack, I highly suggest that you pick someone that's very findable, because I went, unfulfilled career woman, right? That's perfect. But then I went, well, where do I find them? Like, how do you find unfulfilled career women on the internet? And it's taken me quite a while to. So then I went, well, what would unfulfilled career women, what job would they be in? And I started off going, it doesn't matter. And then I'm like, well, it does matter, because I want them to have a bit of money. So I don't want there to be unfulfilled career women who are currently not working. So who have maybe given up work to look after their kids, but just don't have any money at all. Like, I will help. And that's why I do free challenges and I have low price goods. But those are not my target market, because they don't necessarily have money to buy my products or services. So then I went, okay, how about unfulfilled career women who work in finance? Because that was me. And I know people that work in finance tend to have reasonable salaries. So unfulfilled career women that work in finance. Okay, right. That feels a bit easier to find. Where do I find groups of unfulfilled career women that work in finance? Well, tried hunting about on Facebook for ages, and then realized that's an easy thing to find on LinkedIn. So when you're deciding on your ideal customer, it is also going to give you direction as to where to go and find them. And it might not necessarily be in the same place. Now, there are places that I can find unfulfilled career women on Facebook. However, I then niched further and I went, unfulfilled career women who work in finance and would love to go more regularly on Disney holidays, right? So once again, when you're listening to this, you're in my world. So you may be some version of my ideal customer, but this is also a really good example of how, even though I go super specific on who I'm trying to attract with my marketing, even though you don't identify with all of those elements, you still identify with some of them. So it's that kind of counterintuitive. You think when you go super niche, then you're going to put off all the other people, but you're not. You're just going to attract to the people that like you for you. That makes sense. So I now find my 40 plus unfulfilled career women on LinkedIn, but that was hard on Facebook. Although there's a lot of kind of, midlife groups and career changing groups and stuff. None of them were, I couldn't find a lot of places where I was going to be able to kind of harvest. There will, to be fair, if I'd looked really, really hard, I probably would have found some really reasonable groups and resources and pages where I could have found those people. However, what's really easy for me, and I'm an advocate of making it easy, is I know where I can find people that love Disney because I'm in a billion groups on Facebook about people that go regularly to Disney World and now Disneyland, because that's where I'm heading next. So I know where to find all of those people. So now I look for my ideal customers, unfulfilled career women on LinkedIn. I look for my Disney lovers on Facebook. And realistically, if you can afford to go to Disney World, you've probably got a bit of money. So again, I'm calibrating. I'm kind of going, okay, what I need to make sure here that I am, what are the places that I'm spending my time so that I can make sure that my ideal customers are seeing me. The moral or the point I want to get across in this Happy Hustle show is, when I started, I had a vague idea for Happy Side Hustle as to who my ideal customer would be. And it was me, probably 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But it has since evolved and got more specific and more specific. And I think it's worthwhile checking in with who is your ideal customer, because one of the things, oh good, Claire, I'm really glad, because one of the things that people ask me all the time is, I just don't know what to write in social media. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I've no idea what I'm supposed to be sharing. But the more you bring your ideal customer in and you evolve it and you niche it and you really hone it down into a very, very specific person with a specific set of characteristics or likes or whatever it is, the more then you have to say. Because I can go into the Disney groups and talk about Disney. Like, there's not a part of me goes, oh, I need to say something about Disney today. I have no idea what I'm going to say. I know exactly what I'm going to say. I answer questions. I look at what people are saying. I spend, like, it's that question, isn't it? What would you do on a lazy Saturday morning with no other demands on your time? I would just scroll through Disney forums, not Disney more widely, although of course I love everything to do with Disney, but Disney theme park forums, that just lights me up. So I feel like my knowledge is second to none, so I try and help other people out, etc. Anyway, if I think of Theta Jewelry and where I started, so when I started my jewelry, there's a very kind of woo-woo reason why I started a jewelry company, which I won't share with you here. But anyway, it started quite broad, like, I'm going to make jewelry. That's really where I started from. And then that niched into, I'm going to make silver jewelry. And then it niched into, lots of people are asking for personalization. I'm going to make personalized silver jewelry. And then it niched into, okay, but what am I doing here? I'm only competing on price because lots of people make personalized silver jewelry. So then I added in the secret sauce of the appreciation piece and the three things I love about your card, and making sure it's all about kind of gratitude and appreciation, which then means my ideal customer is somebody who wants to be the best gift giver, but somebody who is also probably a little bit into gratitude and appreciation and just kind of, and to be honest, a lot of them really love Disney, even though there's no connection, because obviously I cannot sell anything to do with Disney in my jewelry, no Disney quotes, nothing like that, because you've heard me, and I know that you will know this, everyone, that you cannot kind of make money off anybody else's IP. So there's nothing to do with Disney in my jewelry business, but I know that a lot of people that buy jewelry from me love Disney because I have met them in Disney groups. That's where, so there's kind of that, because the appreciation is about the joy. I'm going to go back to work. I'm going to see if I can find one in the store today. Find what? Oh, find an ideal customer. Claire, let me know how you get on. Let me know how you get on. Brilliant. Yes. So my ideal customer, I know that they like Disney, for even in my Theta Jewelry thing, because that's where I find a lot of my customers. So they like me, they like the appreciation thing, they like the joy. So what I think, if I had to sum up the reason why I'm so infatuated, probably sounds like a bit of a negative word, but I'm so passionate, let's go with that, about going to Disney parks. And I know if you've never been, like, it just probably sounds weird that this 50-year-old woman, I'm being generous to myself, I'm going to stay 50 for a while, 50-year-old woman is just like always talking about going to Disney, and it is with the kids, but it's not just to show the kids. I would go on my own. I would go to Disney on my own. But it's, for me, it's because Disney holds the joy for you. Like, it just, like, I'm constantly creating joy in my life, and I live a joyful life, but it's not effortless. Whereas when I go on holiday, I feel like it's effortless, if that makes sense. Because predominantly, now there's always people shouting at their kids in Disney and stuff. It's not utopia. But predominantly, a lot of the joy is held for you, if that makes sense. Anyway, and then that feeds into the gratitude and feeds into the jewelry range. So my ideal customer that I picked right at the beginning has evolved for both of my current side hustles, that it has evolved from all of the side hustles that I've had over the years. But sometimes when we're working within our side hustle, when we're in the thick of it, it can be difficult to remember to review it. So I want you to take this as, if you have listened to this Happy Side Hustle show, if you've caught up on this, I want you to, or if you're watching it live, I can see there's 4 of you watching it live. I want you to take this as a sign to think about who is your ideal customer again, even if you've done the work before, even if you did it 2 years ago or a year ago when you set up. I want you to think, am I clear on who my ideal customer is now? Who they will be when they have bought my product or service? So what difference are those earrings going to make? What difference is my coaching going to make? Whatever it is you do, who are they now? What will they be? Because those two things, when you have clarity on that, that's what you talk about in social media. So when people say, I don't know what to talk about in social media, those are the things you talk about: who they are now, where they are now, challenges that they're having, and you talk about that amazing future that they're going to have when they've bought your product or when they've been through your service, whatever it is. So I want you to think about that, but then I also want you to think about, so where can you find them? If you have picked, so remember we've picked, if you have picked an ideal customer that is hard to find on social media, pick a different one. Pick one that's easy to find. Look at the Facebook groups that you are in. If you're a Facebook person, look at the Facebook groups that you're in already and think about, well, how can I make a side hustle out of that? Or how can I make those people into my side hustle customers? Because that is just going to be more joyful and more easy for you. Okay. Universal sign, review your ideal customer. Let me know how you get on. Comment below this video and let me know how you have got on when you have done that. But do not leave your ideal customer like stuck. We want to constantly evolve, constantly evolve, constantly evolve till we know where we can find them and we can talk to them without any worries or any blocks on social media. Okay. Have a fabulous week, everybody, and I will speak to you again soon. Take care.